hey, I'm back. I got disconnected somehow, so I don't know where it disconnected me, but I'll have to go back and look. So if you were watching, rejoin, come back, friends, join the party. I'm so sad. I hate when this happens. All right, well, anyway, I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and hopefully people will rejoin. Yay, Pam is back. Yay, thank you, Pam. I hope others will join, too. So I don't know where I cut out, but I was showing Peekaboo Peach, which is the 5th of the 5 in colors that are retiring, and we're going to be using that today in the Rewind Redo project, and the Redo version, of course. For those 5 colors, the 2018-19 colors that are going away, anything in those products that you have or you want to get, you should get them like now, like as soon as the retired list comes out, because they don't last. People just buy up the re-inkers and the cardstock and all that stuff. So that's just to be forewarned. That happens every year. I usually tell my customers in January and March during the events that I do during those events, February too. Hi, Peggy. That they should get those re-inkers and other products then. Don't even wait till May or April. So just word to the wise, learn from experience. All right, so we're talking about the retiring list. Okay, so now another comment. And Pam says, how quickly will those colors go away? So as of May 31st, when the catalog, this current catalog that we're in retires, and the new catalog starts, so May 31st, those colors will all be gone. But if the items, the things that are retiring are only available while supplies last. Yay, Erica came back, thank you. So if you want those products, like I said, get them now, don't wait. May 31st is the very last date, but once again, only available while supplies last. Yay, Amy came back. You guys have to tell me when I cut out, because I don't know when I cut out. So, all right. So let's see, watching for other questions that come up. Okay, so I was going to ask you to comment on one more thing. So I want you to make a prediction. Name one thing that you think will retire from the annual catalog, okay? So just comment and let me know. Let us all know. We're just curious, and then we can see if you were right after the fact. All right, so are you guys ready to move on to the project demonstration? I'm ready. So I'm going to move the camera, turn the camera around, hopefully do it somewhat gracefully. This is when I tell people to avert your eyes in case there's too much, movement in the camera. So I'm going to turn you around so you're going to look at my gorgeous windows, or not. And then I'm going to move the camera so it's facing down towards my workspace. Here we go. And let's see. Are you looking away so you don't get dizzy? Okay, I think that's okay. Is it looking okay to all you guys? Okay, so now you cut out right after you listed the retiring in colors. Oh, okay, well that's not too bad. Okay, so I don't know that we missed a whole lot in there. Okay, thank you, Amy. Okay, so I got my lights on me, and I'm going to show you the Rewind project. And I did a little sneak peek on Facebook showing the Rewind project, and I really, really love this one. This is the same stamp set that I used for the very first Rewind way back on March 7th, I think it was. The image that was the focal piece was a moon, and of course this is the sun. But I love this sun. So I'm going to tell you about how I created that sun. I'm doing something similar on the redo. And you can see this organza ribbon, this fat organza ribbon, and my kind of messy tying job. And but I really love this card. So this uses a couple of really fun, simple techniques. The tearing, which we'll do, and then the technique used on the focal piece. So just to get started, again, like I said, we're going to use the Peekaboo Peach, one of the colors that is retiring. And we're using Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive. And for the stamp sets, the main one we're using is Awesomely Artistic, one of my very favorite stamp sets in the annual catalog. This is one of my wood mount stamp sets. I usually get my favorites in the wood mount because I figure I'm going to keep them longer. Hi, Monica. Hi, Dina. Welcome. Okay, so we're using that one. And then for the sentiment, we're going to use this Flourishing Phrases stamp set. And I really love this one because it has so many great, useful sentiments. Plus, it also has these fabulous, wonderful floral type images, which I really love. And it has coordinating dies also, one that's a similar shape to this. So it's really, really beautiful. I use the Thank You So Very Much more than anything, and the Just a Note. And of course, the other ones are handy too, but I use more of these stamps than I do those. But these ones come in handy too. So those are the two sets I'm using. And I don't know, should I show you the card? Anyone want to comment? Should I show you the card, or should I make it a surprise as I make it? Somebody want to comment? Let me know. What do you think? I don't know. I kind of can't stand but not show you, because if it was me, I'd really want to see it. So I'm going to show you, okay? Nobody's commented yet. There we go. So there's my redo. So where is it? They're side by side. Okay, so there's what we're doing. There's what we're doing. Okay, now you don't get to see it anymore. I get to see it off to the side so I can recreate what I'm doing. Okay, so super, super simple. So I'm going to start with my stamping. Got all my pieces pre-cut. I will do a blog post showing all the dimensions for this project with a supply list and whatnot. My goal will be to do that before I go to bed tonight. And so you'll be able to see it. And I hope that you will take the Rewind Challenge, the Rewind Redo Challenge. So remake this card to your own specifications. So I'm starting with this lovely, gorgeous image, one of my favorites really in that stamp set, just so delicate. And I'm using the Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to use first ink and second ink. So there's my full inking, and then I'm going to go off the page down here with the second inking a little bit. I'm going to cover a little bit less of the piece of cardstock so that I don't get a strange line in there, because that's what will happen if I stamp too much. So I'm going to actually show you that. So I'm going to go off the page right there, and then I'm going to stamp on here, and you'll see I get this funny line. So that's why I did less here. So just a word to the wise. If you're going to use second ink, you want to make sure to do less, or just ink it up and stamp it off. So now I'm doing second ink there. And I'm going to do another one right in here. Okay, so that's my Pear Pizzazz. Isn't that pretty? Simple, right? Okay, so now I'm going to use my dragonfly image, and I'm going to do the technique that I sort of similar to what I did on this project right here with a little variation. So I'm going to start with my Peekaboo Peach, which is my light color, and this is a technique that we call rock and roll. So we're going to sort of rock and roll. First, we're going to ink this up with the Peekaboo Peach. And then I'm going to take my Calypso Coral. Some of you probably already know what I'm going to do here. And I'm just going to, at an angle, I'm going to tilt it so that just the edges of the wings get that Calypso Coral on them. And it's important that you start with the light color first. And so I got it on both ends, and then a little bit on the bottom of the tail as well. And what I like to do is just take a spray bottle and spray it ever so lightly, just to help blend the colors where the dark and the light meet. So I'm going to do this off camera so they don't get my space in front of me wet, but I'm just about 12 inches away. I'm just spraying over the image. And then I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. And when I did this the first time, I actually did the dragonfly first, but apparently it doesn't really matter which order you do it in. So check that out. Isn't that pretty? So you sort of get like an ombre, so the lighter color of the Peekaboo Peach in the center and the Calypso Coral around the edges. So I'm going to just do that a few more times, and because I have the dark Calypso on there, I'm just getting the rest of the ink off on my work surface so I don't get the Calypso, the darker color, on my lighter color of ink. And I'm going to go back in and do it again. Spray it off camera. And then I'm actually going to try to just touch the left side. So I have the right side of the stamp still inked. And this is, there we go. Look at that. I only had to, now I got to use that one inking in two different places because it was sneaky. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time. Get a couple more images in there. I always like to have that odd number of images. So my goal is going to be, of course, to have 5. Okay, spraying off camera. ever so lightly to blend the colors again. And then I'm going to do that same trick again. So just holding at an angle so I'm only getting the right side of the stamp with the ink coming off, and then I'm going to do it again up here. So now I got my sort of 5 elements of the orange, and there you go. Or the Peekaboo Peach and Calypso Coral. So let's see. I got one other step on this to do, and that is with the Old Olive. I always like to close my ink pads so they don't get dried out. So here's my Old Olive, and I'm going to go in with this image, these specks, and I'm going to do some first and second inking. I like to start with the second inking, so I stamp that off right there because it's going to be real strong, so I want to be able to control, and there's third inking. I want to control where the darker inking is. And I'm going to do some of it over here on the light leaves. And again, if I've gone off the edge, I'm inking it up and stamping it off before I ink it on my page. So I did second and third, I think, inking there. And I'm going to come back in a few select spots with the full inked specks. And then, there you go, it's called speed stamping. Oh my goodness gracious. So when I'm in this part of showing you guys stuff, I can't even see your comments. I'm like down below, so I have to stand up every once in a while and see what you're saying. Okay. Ooh, they're going to retire the Good Vibes stat. I'm going to have to go look at that one because I can't even recall what that looks like. Tell us why you think they're going to retire it. Does it stink? Okay, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Okay, so moving right along, I need to get some adhesive because I don't have an adhesive here. I'll be right back. I'm back in a flash. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to do some attaching of my pieces to my Calypso Coral. So at the end of a catalog, when a catalog retires, I'm thinking, you know, who knows what's going to change, or the color's going to change. And so for that reason, I always look through my cardstock inventory and I think, well, what do I have a ton of? And I have a bunch of this Calypso Coral. I haven't used it in a long time. So I thought, I need to create some things with this Calypso Coral. Anyway, so there's my focal piece. And now I got my card base. I've already folded it. And on this version right here, I did a white thank you at the bottom. So I'm actually going to try one with the Peekaboo Peach at the bottom instead. So I've pre-stamped that just to make it quick and easy. And so here's what I got to do next. I think I'm going to attach my ribbon because when I do my tearing along the bottom, I want to be able to gauge how much to tear off. So I'm going to attach my ribbon first, just so that I have an idea of my spacing. This is the crinkled, it's called crinkled seam binding, I think. And it's really, really lovely ribbon. It is, you know, of course it's a retiring color, so it's definitely going to go away. If the crinkled ribbon stays in the catalog, maybe it'll come out in different colors, but this ribbon will definitely be retiring in this color. Right now it comes in about 4 different colors, and it's just beautiful. I don't know if you can see the shimmer, and it's just really thin and supple. So when you tearing is really, in my opinion, one of the fundamental stamping techniques. It's one of the first ones I learned. When you first do it, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm tearing this beautiful paper. But it creates this really beautiful look. And there is a method to it, so I'm going to share that with you. So you can see this one I got really quite regular shaped. This one was kind of all, you know, all over the place, and I ended up really liking it. And just by happenstance, the thank you just kind of fit right in there perfectly. So it's going to turn out different every time. So let's see how I do with this one. And of course, I don't know where the sentiment's going to be. It's part of why I didn't attach this piece permanently, because I can adjust the spacing based upon how the tear ends up going. So, okay, so you want to tear towards you. So I'm pulling towards me on the right side. And the reason why this is important is because you want to see the inside of the tear. And the more you hold it, the cardstock, pinch it with your fingers, the more control you have over the shape. If you hold it out more like this, you're going to get a bigger, less controlled shape. So it just depends on the look you're going for. And, you know, there's a part of it that's just like, you know, letting go and just going with whatever happens. So there you go. You're going to be able to see that shape a little bit better once I put the cardstock underneath. So I think that looks pretty darn good. So on here, just FYI, I stamped this in the Calypso Coral on the Peekaboo Peach because it's a similar color. It works really well to do that. I didn't want to introduce a black into this just because there's no black anywhere else. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put some adhesive on the top of this, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the inside flap here. And that way I make sure none of the adhesive's going to show, and I don't put it in the wrong place. So I could put adhesive down here, but then it might show underneath the tear, below the tear I should say. So I'm going to just go like this to get this bottom piece, the Peekaboo Peach piece, lined up with the bottom edges. Press it down, and voila. There we go. So now all I have to do is just reposition this to where I want it, and I think I will probably bring it down some. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm going to show you both of these, and I want you to tell me which one you like better. I always go back and forth with this sort of thing. I like, you know, one color scheme or the other. So do you like the white panel at the bottom, or do you like the Peekaboo Peach panel at the bottom? So there we go. There's my 3 projects. I'll bring it up to the camera. Oh, okay. Hi, Jane. Okay, so can you see them? Okay, so do you like the white one, or do you like the one with the peach at the bottom? White at the bottom, peach at the bottom. There's my finished project. I hope you like it. Yay! And then my rewind project. Okay, so I'm going to upload this Facebook Live video to YouTube, and I'll put it on my blog, and I'll do a blog post with the dimensions for the project that I've made, and all the other information, supply list and whatnot. And let me think if there's anything else I need to say before I sign off, or anything you guys want to say when you sign off. Oh, look at that. Erica says she likes the white and Amy likes the peach. Well, geez, you guys, now I just need a tiebreaker. Somebody else chime in. Oh, my goodness. I went back and forth because I tried it both ways myself along the way. So I do really like them both. But you guys are so funny. It's like one of you's one side of my brain, the other one's the other. All right. So, so in closing, I guess, I'm going to continue these Facebook Lives. I think they're really fun. I'm going to keep going back to my old projects and coming up with ideas to remake and, you know, going down memory lane constantly, which I think is just so much fun. And my intention is to do these Facebook Lives every other week. That's kind of all I'm ready to commit to at this point. Eventually, I hope that I'll go to once a week, but I just need to be able to know that I can actually do it. But again, I'm thinking about Sunday evening or late afternoon Sunday. So I am actually traveling a bunch. So obviously I'm going to On Stage in Atlanta tomorrow. And then I'm leaving next Wednesday for a trip to California. It's kind of a family reunion with my Vancouver cousins, and most of my siblings are going to be there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm going to be gone for about a week. So I'm thinking my next Facebook Live will be Sunday, April 21st. And I will do a reminder on my Facebook page just so you guys know, and in my newsletter. So if you have any thoughts on time of day or Sunday work for you, or anything you liked or didn't like, or any of the comments, just leave comments. I would love that. So thanks for joining me, and have a great evening, guys. I hope you love the project. And please, if you do the challenge and you do your own redo, oh, I forgot one thing. I have a prize. Please post it to my Facebook page so we can see what you made. And I did want to do what I did last time, which was to offer to send, I'm going to offer to send 3 people one of my redos in the mail, the completed card, And then also what I'll do is send you the materials to make your own. So you'll, of course, need some similar colors to play with, but you'll use your own images. So you'll have it ready to go to do your own redo. So in order to be eligible to be entered for that, leave a message me on Facebook. Tell me you want the redo number 4, and then either I'll draw the names of 3 people to win, or, if there's only 3 people, it'll be those 3 people who get it. And I'll pop that in the mail to you. So if you get it, I'll confirm with you, and then ask you to send me your mailing address so I can mail it to you. And of course, it probably won't happen till next week because I'll be gone. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. And hi, Megan, as I sign off. Hope you'll go back and watch the replay and see the project and everything else that I shared. So have a wonderful evening and happy crafting. Bye, everybody.